Latest there from Nick Harper. Meanwhile, the African Union has expressed concern over the US's invasion in Venezuela and the capture of President Nicolás Maduro and his wife. Now, the AU has described the situation as troubling, emphasizing that Venezuela's complex internal challenges can only be resolved sustainably through political dialogue. Maduro is currently detained at the Metropolitan Detention Centre in New York and faces charges of, among others, drugs and weapons trafficking. Now, to get the latest developments on this, we joined on the line by Sophie Mokoena, SABC News Specialist Contributor. Sophie, good morning. So this story, of course, capturing the headlines over the weekend. This is a story of a sitting head of state, the Venezuelan leader Nicolás Maduro, who was captured, of course, by a military force of another sovereign state. So talk to us about where this leaves international law.
Clearly, this is in violation of international law. You know that the UN Charter, Article 1 and 2, it does indicate that all member states cannot be found in a wrong side where they launch aggression against any country. The territorial independence of all countries must be respected, and there shouldn't be a military interference unless sanctioned by the Security Council and also by the entire United Nations. And therefore, this was not sanctioned by the United Nations Security Council nor the whole assembly. And therefore, this is a clear violation of international law. That is why many countries are quoting that article, those Article 1 and 2, in violation of international law.
Be that as it may, Sophie, Maduro is in New York at a detention center there. He is expected to come before a federal court later today. So this again raises the question then of, among others, jurisdiction, but also many other issues around the charges that he faces. Again, not forgetting that this is actually a sitting head of state.
You're correct. It raises concern on jurisdiction because this is a sitting head of state of a foreign country now being tried by another country. Many people are saying this was not a move that is in line with the international law. It was a kidnap or it's an abduction. And therefore, him appearing in a foreign land in a different court, it is in violation of international law. Secondly, the issue of the charges, they are talking about him working with the drug lords and sending many drugs to the United States of America. And those drugs are affecting the nation. President Trump even putting a number of people who died because of drugs and linking it with drugs coming from Venezuela. But when you look at Latin America, the countries where you get drugs that are being sent to the United States of America, the country like Venezuela doesn't even count as one of the main countries who are supplying drugs illegally to people in the United States of America, as President Trump claimed. And the other one is the issue of him being in possession of a weapon, a particular caliber weapon. Therefore, if this caliber weapon is banned in the United States of America, is the caliber weapon banned in Venezuela? That should be the question. And that's where you see violation of international law, a country using its laws to charge a sitting head of state of another country. That is why people are saying if it was about human rights issues, this matter should be before the UN Human Rights, or you can take it to the ICC, International Criminal Court, or ICJ. Unfortunately, you can take the country Venezuela, not individuals. So there are international processes to deal with country to country and individuals who are violating human rights, not another country doing it. And that is why it's a critical question. Now the question is, the judges in the United States of America, will they be exercising their duty in impartial manner? If they look at those issues, there might be a problem, but we don't know what's going to happen in United States of America, because now this is a different court, and whether the pressure from the administration of President Trump will lead to a situation where the judges will lean towards doing what America expects, or they will discharge their responsibility independently.
Well, so many questions. We'll leave it there for now. Thanks so much, Sophie Mokoena, SABC News Specialist Contributor, giving us the latest in the United States and Venezuela relations after the capture and arrest of the Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro over the weekend by the United States.